Welcome back to the channel. Today I have a very exciting product here. Now this is by a brand that is very well known and one that is trusted by many gamers out there. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get into it. Today we're gonna be reviewing the SteelSeries Rival 3 Wireless. This is the Gen 2. This was voted the best lightweight mouse from PC Gamer, like the big awards ceremony for all the gaming tech. It is from the makers of the RX3. Cool things about this, real quick. So firstly, 60 million clicks. That's pretty much average of what you can expect from any reliable gaming mouse. This thing comes in multitude different colors. I have white because I just wanted a white one. This guy has the TrueMove Air sensor. Firstly, let me describe this to you. These wireless mice have this sensor that's incredible, but this sensor essentially takes a bunch of images to register movement. Now, what does that mean? Well, essentially it's like, think about it as a camera, right? If any of you are into photography, the faster the shutter speed is, the more movement you can capture within the image that's not going to be blurry. Kind of the same deal with this. So this TrueMove Air sensor essentially is allowing an increased amount of images that the sensor is able to capture, which means that it's essentially elite. Like, the only thing that would be wrong is if you were to able to move the mouse 11 meters a second, which is unheard of, because I mean that's 33 feet that you would have to move it every single second, which is pretty much impossible. Okay, so something super simple here. I'm just gonna read off kind of like what the technology is in here. So again, the sensor is the TrueMove Air optical. Maximum sensitivity for the DPI is 18,000. Again, I don't understand why you would even need something above 2,500. But 18,000, sweet. Maximum speed is 400 IPS, maximum acceleration is 40 Gs, polling rate is 1000 Hertz or 1 millisecond, same old, same old. Now, it does have the ability to do the wireless connection as well as the Bluetooth, but again, it's one of those things where like, you might as well just do it via the wireless connection because the Bluetooth doesn't always work. Something that I think that is actually really cool about this mouse specifically, because a lot of the mice that I have that are wireless aren't necessarily compatible with consoles, and that's just because of their software that's built in, because you do have to realize that although a mouse is just a mouse, there is a chip in here that does have software in it. So this one actually is able to do PC, Xbox X and S, PS5, Android, and iOS, which is pretty cool. I don't know what you do with the Android and iOS, but I mean, because iOS is iPhone. Now the battery life is insane. 200 hours, which crazy to me, and then up to 450 hours via Bluetooth. Listen guys, there are some things about this mouse that are really surprising me that I think it could be a very top contender, but this is the problem that I think is not so great. So this mouse, if you put the batteries in, it's got 2 AAAs, it's 106 grams. Yeah, that's quite fat there. This box, man. I've never seen a mouse come with batteries, which is a little kind of like, why? Especially one that's wireless. I don't know, maybe it's just because it's how the Bluetooth or the wireless connection actually registers, but as you can probably tell, I shot this all as a one take because this is now number 2 of when I still put the batteries and wireless connection together, because it's a battery powered mouse, but yet I'm thinking that it's not. How do I open this box? There we go. Yeah, that's a heavy mouse. Wow. I mean, it's packaged up really well. That's kind of cool. So it's got a transparent underside to it. I like that it's a matte finish on top too. From first glance, love the design of the mouse. It's very simple, sleek, and I think it's one of those where since it's not shiny, it does allow you to have some natural grip to it, because the shiny ones, if you have oil on your hands, which you're always going to have oil on your hands, it's going to leave a residue and then be super slippery. See, how do I open this? There's not like a lever. I think I took out the only thing that was going to help me get it. Oh, this thing slides out. Yeah, it slides out. That probably would make sense. Now, truthfully, if I were to say anything about this mouse currently, it's that what I am finding out, this is not a rechargeable mouse, which is obvious because it's got the batteries to it, and I don't know why it took me so long to figure that out, but not a huge fan of that. I would much rather not have to worry about spending a crap load of money on a battery-powered mouse versus one that is literally simply rechargeable. All right, well, I mean, let's continue this, put the batteries in, and let's put this guy all back together. Let me go ahead and put this guy in. Wow, that is a heavy freaking mouse, man. Dude, they weren't lying, man. 106 gram mouse. It is a freaking paperweight. Feels great in the hand. I love the sleekness. I love the matte finish on it. I love the underbody of it, but this thing has no RGB to it. Now, when I was testing out the responsiveness of the mouse, it just was literally the exact same thing as to any other wireless mouse. Scroll wheel, super great quality. I can't fathom the fact that it's not rechargeable. It's simply with batteries, and there's no RGB. I'm a little confused on how this is supposedly the best mouse available. Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't care how old you are. I don't care how much you've been into the gaming space, but to have RGB with your gaming setup kind of makes it what's supposed to be like a gaming setup. And on top of that, you don't want the heaviest mouse because that's gonna take so much wrist action or movement out of you when playing games for 2, 3, 4 hours at a time. Again, I love the sleekness, love the buttons, but battery powered mouse. Why? How's the click in this? Okay, so truthfully, I explained this horribly bad. So the clickiness of the SteelSeries Rival 3 Gen 2 mouse is actually very dampened compared to most of them that I've ever worked on, which I'm not sure how I feel about that because I feel like I'd rather have a very clicky and responsive mouse than nothing. It just doesn't make any sense to me why you want the thing to be super heavy. It's battery powered, no RGB. Granted, the pros of it, again, it's not sleek and smooth. It's the rough edge with the matte finish, and well, I mean, at least the gliders are feeling really nice because the gliders actually are raised above the mouse a little bit rather than being inserted into a little groove and then put on. But I'm gonna be honest with you, Rival 3 Wireless Gen 2, not a fan. And it's only because of the batteries. Those get really expensive after a long time, and that actually makes sense as to why it's a 200-hour mouse, because when you're wireless, more than likely you're only going to be able to do with the lithium ion is about 60 to 80 hours, maybe 100 hours with like just normal use, but 60 to 80 with game use. So I guess it's depending on what you want to do. Do you want to have a mouse that is battery powered and you have a very, very long use, but then you have to worry about buying batteries, even though this comes with it, but then what happens after you play the 200 hours worth? Now you have to go find new batteries versus this one. You play for 60 to 80 hours, and this doesn't have to be Final Mouse. This is just simply this one. You can recharge it once it's dead. Now, obviously, the lithium ions are going to not last in a longevity, but think about the amount of money you save with this versus the amount of money you were spending with this. But let's just think of something positive here. So this mouse is actually $60 only, which is actually quite nice because, again, super sleek feel. Everything about it is amazing except for the couple things that I keep mentioning. So for $60, do I think it's worth it? Yes. I just personally wouldn't want a battery-powered mouse that weighs literally a ton and then you're trying to game with that. But if you guys enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button down below, and I'll see you in my next one because we're still getting more.